Hey guys, it's Troy Francis coming at you from Mayfair in London. So listen, you've got to keep doing the work no matter what, all right? Easier said than done, okay? Like a lot of this self-development stuff, you know, it's kind of like the platitudes write themselves, okay? The platitudes write themselves, but, you know, it's like to actually live it, to actually embody it, is a different thing. And it's kind of easy when things are going well. It's kind of easy to say, yeah man, keep grinding, keep working, keep pushing forwards. Because after all, why wouldn't you? You know? I mean, if you are seeing tangible results to your efforts, then, you know, you're just going to carry on, aren't you? I mean, it becomes a virtuous circle because you're doing whatever it is you need to do. The results are coming through. You're enjoying those results, and then, you know, the motivation is there. The reward is very clearly there, and so you're going to keep putting in that hard work, and no problem, right? Everyone's happy. When it becomes difficult is when you're not seeing the results, okay? When you are not yet enjoying the fruits of whatever the labor it is that you're putting in. And by the way, shout out here to Franco's in Mayfair on Jermyn Street, favourite place of mine. And I really wanted to come here since we've been away. We were in Dubai for a while, and I really wanted to come here because kind of spring sprung now, you know, very, very sunny. You can see I'm just wearing a t-shirt today. Could have probably been wearing shorts. I'm not, but I probably could have just worn shorts today. Super, super hot in London. And this place is really nice because it's very sort of well-heeled. The clientele here is very, very nice, very, very sophisticated, kind of old money type place. And you can look out over the street. You can look out over Jermyn Street. In fact, I might just spin around quickly. You can see, you can look out over Jermyn Street. And, you know, it's just a very nice spot just to sort of watch the world go by and contemplate over a nice little cigar. So yeah, the difficulty is not when things are going well. The difficulty is when things are not going well. And what do you do then? How do you get the motivation together just to keep on putting in the work? Not always easy. As usual with these videos, and this is more of a self-development, self-help type video, but of course it also has application in dating as well, because we will get guys who come to us as dating coaches. I'm an international dating coach. We help guys all over the world improve their results in that sphere, in the sphere of their romantic and sexual relationships with women. And we get guys who, you know, they may have been successful in other areas of their lives. They may have done really, really well with their career, with their business, making loads of money. They might be in really good shape, they might be ripped, whatever. But things just aren't quite connecting as far as the dating stuff is concerned. And, you know, you may, if you're watching this and you don't have a problem in that area, well, why are you watching for a start? But secondly, you know, you might find it hard to believe, but it is absolutely true that there are guys who have really all of the external trappings of what a high value man is, but things just aren't really working for them on the level of the romantic relationship. And that's something that we can fix. You have to have a system, you have to have a strategy, you need to have a mentor, but it is something that's fixable. So in the context of dating, you might get a guy who we say to him, all right, so you need to be socializing with more women, you need to be talking to more women. And so, you know, he goes out and he does that. He starts going to social events, he starts going to bars, he starts going to lounge bars, clubs, whatever it is, and talking to women and maybe getting some traction. I mean, maybe not, maybe he's just striking out. Alternatively, maybe he is getting some traction, you know, he's getting some phone numbers, he's getting some initial interest, but that's not really translating into anything. And, you know, we're working with various clients at the moment where this is sort of happening. You know, they're going out, they're putting in loads and loads of effort. The end result of that effort is currently not where they would like it to be, okay? And depending on the level of grit and persistence and determination that particular guy has, his success is going to be predicated on that, really, because the only way to get to where you want to get to is to keep going. And it's been said many times before, but you only really fail when you give up, you know, and that is in your control. A lot of things are not in your control. So in a social context, you are attracted to somebody and you go and talk to them and you have a conversation and you try and flirt a bit, and then you get a phone number, and whether any of that happens or whether you get the phone number, or whether she replies to your messages, or whether she comes out on a date with you, all of that really is kind of, you can't entirely control that. I mean, you can do certain things to make it more likely. You can do certain things to make yourself more attractive in that context, and that's what we're really aiming to do. It's like the 1% improvement model. Okay, it's like, okay, how can I do these things just ever so slightly better, so that my chance of success is optimized in each interaction that I have. Okay, but even then, of course, there are no guarantees, because we don't know what's going on in the background. There are too many variables, unseen variables going on in people's lives, you know. She might have an ex-boyfriend who's come back onto the scene. She might, suddenly have to move countries for her job. She might just meet somebody else. She might just go off you. You know, you might say something a bit dumb and she just kind of goes off you. And these are just the slings and arrows of dating. You know, this is just something that you have to get used to and you have to work around. In a business context or a career context, the same thing applies. You know, you can start a business, you can start trying to sell whatever it is you're trying to sell, because ultimately a business is powered by sales. I mean, every business really is ultimately a sales business. And, you start to do that. You start to try and hawk whatever the product is or the service is that you've devised. And it may be successful. You know, you might have a runaway hit, right? You might have something that you're in the right place at the right time, and suddenly you get traction with this thing and it's great. But equally, maybe it just doesn't, it takes time to get off the ground, or it doesn't get off the ground, And there again, what are you going to do? Well, you can work on it for 2 months, and then you can say, all right, I failed. Oh, woe is me, I failed. Like this. Or you can carry on working on it, you can carry on pushing on at it, you can look at different ways to take the product or the service to market, you can find different ways to present it, you can tweak the offer, you can take feedback from the customers that you talk to, or the potential customers that you talk to, you can take their feedback on board, and you can think, right, okay, well, if I just change it slightly like this, or if I do that, then maybe that's going to be a better offering, all right? And you can innovate, right? And you can change up. Or you might think, do you know what, I've really given this a good shot, I don't think this is working, so therefore I'm going to move into a different sphere, I'm going to move to a totally different offer, okay? And you carry on. It's a learning process, all right? So the gift that you've been given there is the gift of learning, all right? And again, it's been said by somebody much wiser than me, that in everything that you do, every time you put yourself out there, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to succeed or you're going to learn a lesson, okay? And sometimes you both happens, because you succeed and you learn a lesson as well. You get the girl and then you realize, oh shit, I didn't actually want the girl, or I got the girl and she's a nightmare, or the business succeeded but now I've got all this responsibility that I didn't expect, I've got to fulfill all this stuff, and that's causing me problems with the distribution, etc., etc. But you always get a lesson. You're always going to get some kind of a lesson. So even if it doesn't work as you wanted it to, even if it doesn't succeed in the sense that you haven't woken up and you're a multi-millionaire, okay? Still, you've learned something, all right? So still, doing the actions was a valuable thing to do, and you've got something from it, okay? It might not be what you wanted, but you have got something. And experience is invaluable. Okay, kind of a no-brainer to say it, but it's worth reiterating. Experience is invaluable. So experience, for example, in business is invaluable because you don't know what you don't know. And before you've started a business, before you've started taking a product out to market, before you've ever done all of that stuff, you don't know. You just don't know what you're doing. And then even when you do it and it doesn't work, or you don't make the sales that you wanted to make, or it's not profitable, or not sufficiently profitable, still, that experience that you've gained is bankable, right? That experience can then be used and applied elsewhere, all right? Same thing really with dating, because when you're going out and you are interacting with people, you're talking to lots of different people, okay, and maybe you get some near misses, maybe you meet somebody and she seems kind of interested, but then ultimately she flakes and it doesn't go the way you wanted it to, or maybe you get into a small short-term relationship and then it doesn't kind of work out for whatever reason, or she moves country, who knows, right? She leaves the city, whatever happens, you've still learned something. And again, the way that I operate now, both in terms of my personal relationships, but also in terms of my career, in terms of my business activities, has been massively, it's the only way that I'm able to operate in the way that I operate now is because of the experience that I've had, okay? And that will only continue to grow exponentially as I move forward, okay? So, really, as I said, the only thing that you can do, and the thing that it's incumbent upon you to do, is to keep doing the work no matter what. Now, I made a video just recently where I was talking about emotion and how our actions cannot be hindered by our emotion, okay? You have to put emotion to one side and do what needs to be done anyway. One of the things my father taught me was a little saying, a little expression that he used to adhere to, which was, when in doubt, do the right thing, okay? There's a sort of variation on that gets talked about in 12-step recovery programs, which is do the next right thing, okay? Just do the next right thing. Now, usually, to be honest, we kind of know what that is, all right? I mean, it's generally it's not rocket science. We kind of know what the next right thing is, okay? So, if we need to make money, it's like, right, okay, I'm gonna formulate a product, I'm gonna formulate a service, I'm gonna take that service to market, I'm gonna market it, I'm gonna advertise it, I'm gonna engage with customers, I'm gonna try to sell it to them, and if I don't sell it to them, I'm gonna find out why, I'm gonna find out what was wrong with it, or what was suboptimal about the offer, and then I'm going to tweak the offer, and then I'm going to go again, and I'm going to improve, and I'm going to iterate, and I'm going to move forward on that basis, all right? Same thing in the dating process, right? It's like, okay, so this month I've talked to 100 new people, okay? I've socialized with 100 new people, and these were the learnings that I got back, okay? I went with this sort of approach, I went with this kind of opener, I sent these kind of text messages, I did these kinds of dates in these kinds of venues, and this is what the outcome was, okay? And you can look at that because now you have data. So you can sit down and you can look at that and you can say, okay, well, clearly that wasn't working, and then you can analyze it. You can figure out, okay, so where was the shortfall? Okay, where was the bottleneck in the process? Well, it might be that you were getting lots and lots of numbers and you were getting lots of really good traction, and then you did a certain type of a date. Like, say your date was going to play table tennis, okay, and you're rubbish at table tennis, and you kept messing up with the table tennis, and then the girls wouldn't want to then come and see you again. I'm just stupid example, but you know what I'm saying, right? So say that was your go-to date, and you did that 100 times, and you only got 5 second dates off the back of that, for example. Then you could look at it and say, okay, well, clearly this table tennis date thing is not working for me. Clearly, I need to change that up. I need to do something else. Okay. But you wouldn't know that until you've done the work. So you need to keep doing the work so that you get the data, so that you can then change up and do things better next time around. However, all of that may sound incredibly arduous and incredibly time consuming and so on and so forth. And in a sense it is, all right? In a sense it is. And you might think, well, okay, I mean, I'm a high value man. I haven't got time to be, you know, to be messing around, to be experimenting with this stuff. You know, I need to expedite the process. So how do you expedite the process? Well, you expedite the process by getting a mentor, okay? Because time is your most valuable asset, all right? Time is the one thing you can't get back. You know, you can make more money, you can get possessions back. You know, I know people who've lost fortunes. They've lost properties, they lost houses, they lost cars and everything else. They've got it all back, okay? But the one thing that you're never going to get back is time, okay? And this is why having a mentor, both in business but also for the dating stuff, is so valuable, because many of us, you know, I'm, you know, on half a century now and counting, we just don't have the time to mess around. Now, as I say, you've got to be prepared to keep two somewhat opposing thoughts in your brain at the same time. And on the one hand, yes, all of us need to keep doing the work. We all need to be doing the experimentation. We all need to be doing the iteration. But we should also recognize that a way to streamline that, a way to speed that up, is simply by engaging with somebody who's walked the walk before and knows what they're doing and can look at what you're doing and say, well, look, I don't think this is particularly working out for you, so why don't you tweak this? Why don't you do that? And, you know, in both business and in the relationship stuff, in the dating stuff, I benefited massively from working with mentors who know more than me, okay? And in fitness as well, right? You know, I had a new fitness program put together by a top trainer, which I'm working on. Previously, I was working with a PT. I've been working with him for, you know, quite a few months. And it's really revolutionized the way that I've approached my fitness, but also my nutrition and so on and so forth. It's really made some real big, tangible changes, okay? Would I have got there on my own? Would I have got there by watching YouTube videos? Well, you know, maybe, but it would have taken me a lot longer than it did, okay? And this is why we always bang the drum for mentorship, okay? And look, I mean, obviously an upsell now for me. I mean, if you are struggling with the dating stuff, if you want some help with that, if you want some guidance in that arena, then get in touch. You can email me. The email address is below, but it's TroyFrancis7laws, Troy Francis with a number 7 and then LAWS @gmail.com. Get in touch. Give me your WhatsApp details, and we can jump on a call to discuss how I can guide you through the forest, if you like. But mentorship, super, super important, super, super key. Every smart person that I know, without exception, has mentors in all of the key areas of their lives, whether that is nutrition, whether that is you know, psychology type stuff, you know, getting input into that, whether that is fitness, whether it is business, and so on, right? I mean, it's just a no-brainer, really. It's something that you absolutely need to do, or at least consider, you know, at least have a call, at least figure out, okay, can this person actually help me or not? And then you've just got to be prepared to do the work, basically, you know, and particularly if you are working with a mentor, then you've got to be prepared. You say, okay, right, I'm going to put my trust in this person. I'm going to pay this person money. Sometimes you're going to pay them quite a lot of money, okay? And actually that helps you. It really helps you, because then you've got skin in the game, as they say, right? You know, there's a tangible, you've handed money over, you've made a commitment to yourself, and you've made a commitment to them. And then it's like, okay, well look, come hell or high water, whatever happens, I'm going to do what this person says, because they know better than me, okay? And this is then where the work comes in again. But once more, you only really fail when you say that you failed. You only really fail when you give up, when you throw in the towel, okay? And again, that is your decision, all right? Nobody else can make that decision for you. Things happen, right? I mean, maybe you run out of money, maybe your startup runs out of money, okay? That's a problem. All right, is there a way to raise more money? Okay, is there a way that you can bootstrap it? And or can you do things more cheaply? Can you cut your costs, right? I mean, you've got to look at all these different options. Or do you dip out of it for a while, go work for somebody else, make some money, get some money together, and then give it another go? Okay, but you only finally fail when you've thrown in the towel, when you've given up, all right? And you just mustn't do that. And how do you not do that? How do you not throw in the towel? I think really, in the end, it comes down to personal pride, really. And it comes down to a hard-headed determination not to give up, and a hard-headed determination, a hard-headed resolution actually, to say, I'm just not going to let the bastards beat me, all right? I'm just not going to, whatever happens, I'm not going to allow myself to say that I gave up. I would rather die than I would give up, all right? And you can make a decision to think like that. It doesn't have to be easy. It doesn't have to be something that comes naturally to you, because, I mean, human beings, we tend to take the path of least resistance, okay? We tend to take the easiest route, and the easiest route is probably not, well, it definitely isn't saying, I'm just going to do this and come hell or high water, I'm going to carry on. So you can make the intellectual decision that, okay, this is the kind of man that I am, this is the kind of man that I'm going to be. I'm going to be the kind of man who never gives up, regardless. And come what may, fuck it, this is how I'm going to act, all right? You can make that decision. You can make it now. You can make it today, okay? And then you've got to think, okay, so I'm going to do this thing. I'm not going to give up. The only way I'm going to give up is if I'm in a coffin 6 feet under. And so what's the best way to get me to where I want to get to? All right? And usually, as I've said, some form of mentorship is going to come into play with that. So that's it really, guys. I mean, your failure or success is in your own hands. And the truth is that you might say, okay, well, what if I just give it everything and I keep going and I never give up and I'm never successful? That might happen, you know, life's a bitch. But, you know, you reach the end of your life and then you go into the great unknown and you're not really going to be conscious of it anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. But the truth of the matter is it's unlikely that that's going to happen. It's unlikely that's going to happen, because the people that are successful in any endeavor generally are the people who just keep going, okay? Because most people don't. This is the thing. Most people are weak, most people are lazy, most people are risk averse, and most people give up in the end, all right? And if you just make the decision, the intellectual decision, I'm not going to be one of those people, then the likelihood of your success is incredibly high, okay? It's incredibly high. So I hope this has been of some use to you, a little bit of a pep talk. I hope you've gained something from this, or a bit of food for thought. Put your comments below. If you want to talk to me about mentorship in any of the areas that we've discussed, as I said, just email me, troyfrancis7laws@gmail.com. The email address is below. We've got some events coming up as well, this month and next. So we've got Mexico City at the end of May, we've got Dubai in June, and then we've got London at the end of June. So, you know, if any of those interest you, and they absolutely should, this is more for the dating stuff, you know, send me your WhatsApp details and we can jump on a call. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give me a like, and just think about it. Just think about it. Your future, whether you make a success in the things that you want to make a success of or not, is in your hands, right? It's all within your grasp. You can do it, okay? You're watching this, so you are invested already in your own development, okay? You can transcend. If somebody else can do it, if that guy over there can do it, then you can do it as well, okay? You just have to do it, you have to do the work, and you have to not give up, and you have to get the right guidance. So, on that note, hope you're having a good day, and let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.